will triumph, believing that, in the clash with Westmeath, Meath showed enough skill, commitment and hunger to suggest they would be difficult to beat. The Fingal Independent, meanwhile, looks at things from a Dublin point of view and focuses firmly on manager Tommy Lyons, whose second game in charge this will be. Bearing that in mind, it may be unfair, says writer Shane Castles, to call it a make-or-break contest for Lyons. But hey, life ain't fair. There may be a backdoor system in operation, but Dublin football needs an injection of life, not a life support machine. The manner of victory will not matter, simply the result. That's the view from the rival camps, and this is the view of Croke Park. The reopened Croke Park, of course, after the rebuilding of the Hogan Stand, looking absolutely magnificent down there today.
Wonderful setting, one of the finest sports arena in the world at this stage. And today, well, the crowd, we're expecting around about 50,000 people, still on their way in. Hill 16 is well and truly populated by the fans of Dublin. The upper tiers, as you can see, not open for business on this particular side. And both teams out on the field have been for the last couple of minutes. The Garda band just there on the right-hand side, and they're in replacing the Artane Boys band for this particular special occasion. 53rd ever match between the counties, and Sean Boylan, 20th season in charge. Remarkable rivalry over the years. Pat McEnany, one of the best referees in the country, taking charge here. John Leonard there, the three of Meyer. Absentees for Meath, of course, John McDermott and Ollie Murphy. But Sean Boylan, as we say, in his 20th year in charge, has always managed to find a winning formula. Darren Fay is still one of the country's finest full-backs. And today in front of him there you see Hank Traynor is at centre half. It's Nigel Crawford and John Cullinan in the centre field area. Trevor Giles, he's back in the number 11 spot. Of course, he is also the team captain, having played some league matches in the half-back line. And with players of the calibre of Ray McGee, Graham Geraghty and Donald Curtis, there's always room for loads of Boylans in there among them. They won't be worried about getting an entrance via the back door, because to win today is what it's really all about for Meath and for Dublin. Minimum of changes to their forces following that narrow win over Wexford in the last couple of weeks. Stephen Cluxton is in goal. Paddy Christie is in the company of Barry Cahill and Coleman Goggins. Johnny McGee is at centre half, and it's Kieran Whelan and Darren Homan in midfield. We'll check on the rest in a little while. Let's hear the anthem. So here we go. Leinster semi-final, Bank of Ireland Championship. Place in the final against Kildare. Will it be Dublin? Will it be Meath? Dublin won the toss. They've opted to play from right to left in the first half. There's a slight breeze behind them. Although with such a magnificent stadium, encased with the most wonderful of stands, breeze is a difficult enough thing to gauge anymore. And let's just continue our look through the Dublin team. Kieran Whelan, Darren Hogan there in the midfield. In attack last year's right quarterback Shane Ryan is now on the 40, with Alan Brogan, Ray Cosgrove and newcomer John McNally in the inside forward line. Pat McEnany gets the match underway. Let's hope it's a good one. Straight away it's John Cullinan there. Taking it back here is Nigel Crawford for Meath, held. Stopped by Kieran Whelan. Nicely inside here towards Donald Curtis. back towards John Cullinan. Always does a good solid job. This time his shooting is not of the best. He's down injured, so it may require the intervention of Owen Clark, who is the team doctor. Here it is again here, John Cullinan. Just what looked a very accidental collision. Didn't come off the best, however. Owen Clark is in there to attend. Sean Boylan a bit concerned about that. Tony, your observations?
Yes, I think it's very important for Dublin to get a good start in this game, and especially Kieran Whelan. Dublin with their whole new full forward, and Alan Brogan, Ray Cosgraves and John McNally. From where I'm looking here, they're moving all across the full forward line, and they'll have to get good ball into that full forward line as early as possible.
There's a real concern now about John Cullinan, and it could be that Anthony Moyles, who's got championship experience, may be coming into the action at a very early stage, within seconds in fact. This is Anthony Moyles from Blackhall Gales. He's played in the Leinster Championship over the last number of years. Pat McEnany just holding up the action. Team doctor is clearly concerned about the stricken midfielder John Cullinan. And the rain just beginning to fall down here in Croke Park.
That's unfortunate for him. He wouldn't have been really warmed up properly, and for a knock like that would take an awful lot out of you at the start of the game.
Well, it's a case of getting the rain gear on fairly fast. Sean Boylan, all the plans he's made. A midfield he'd been cementing there with Nigel Crawford and John Cullinan from Drumree. This is how John received his injury. Just came down very awkwardly. There really was no contact whatsoever with the Dublin player. Well, it's a shame.
Hopefully he won't be too badly injured, Gerard, and he'll be able to get back on the field again.
It just looked to me like a really bad knock. Anthony Moyles is on. So confirmation then of the early substitution that Meath have been forced to make.
Yeah, Graham Geraghty has now gone out midfield.
Well, he's a play-anywhere player, isn't he, Graham Geraghty? Started life, as I remember it, playing minor as a number 6 centre-half back. Darren Holman trying to take this one in his stride. Good ball inside, opportunities for Dublin, looking for the lead point, and they have got it. Collymoran from Ballyboden St Enda's, virtually Dublin's first attack, and they go straight into the lead. Well, he's had his problems with injury in recent years, Collymoran. We've come to admire and respect his talents as a footballer. He looked composed, and he slotted it over beautifully. Cormac Sullivan, Ireland's goalkeeper in the International Rules Series. That's Graham Geraghty going up there to fetch. Players looking for his right and left, and in the end he is dragged down. The player who dragged him down was Kieran Whelan. Trevor Giles just knocking it wide. Graham Geraghty coming onto it again, bypassing the intended challenge by Darren Holman. Back to Trevor Giles. Nicely inside here towards Paul Shanky. And Dublin win it back through Paddy Christie from Ballymon Kickham's. Meath yet to make their substitution, so as of right now they're still waiting on the fitness of John Cullinan. Anthony Moyles has not come in. Meath are down to 14 players. They must have genuine hopes that Cullinan will be able to get back into the game very, very quickly. Down on the sideline, he looks like he's ready to come back in. And Sean Boylan and the doctor have given their instructions to the midfield player, making sure that he is in the fullness of his health. Drop down there towards Alan Brogan. Nicely won back, however. Trevor Giles feeding it out. Great support play. This is good football. Graham Geraghty And Dublin win it back. Kieran Whelan chasing back. Darren Homan to take this free kick. Sending it along. Mark O'Reilly. Great fielding. That's a wonderful catch there by Nigel Nestor. 2 against him. Lobbing it back there into space towards Ray McGee. Trevor Giles. Graham Geraghty coming forward. And that's gone well wide of the target. Just for the moment, Graham is filling in as a substitute midfielder. And we're still waiting for John Cullinan to come back into the match.
That's a terrific start to the game, Ger. All the main generals are really opening up very well. Trevor Giles, Graham Geraghty, and Kieran Whelan is imposing himself very good for Dublin at the start of the game.
Here's Stephen Cluxton from Parnell's. Very bright young goalkeeper. Trevor Giles batting it down there. Kieran Whelan's chasing after it. Trevor Giles back towards Geraghty once again. Chasing after him there was Senan Connell. Up to Ray McGee. Ready to take on the defence. Stealing a march there on Common Goggins. Fisting it, but fisting it wide. 3 wides now for Meath. Ray McGee, who emerged on the scene a couple of years back. So the Meath backroom team just checking that John Cullinan is able to continue in the match. Interesting that they have not made a substitution.
Yeah, it's a very cool decision by the manager to be able to sit down and rationally judge whether he's going to be able to play or not at this stage of the game.
I wonder, was he concussed when he came down that heavily? Darren Homan fed in beautifully. Alan Brogan, the youngster, son of Bernard, losing his way. Hank Traynor getting back, had a marvellous match in the last game against Westmeath. They get it back one more time, and it's Shane Ryan, former cornerback, hurling star as well. Darren Fay doing the necessary. Out as far as Evan Kelly. Back out to Kelly one more time. Picking it up here is Paddy Reynolds, going long. That's broken down there by Donald Curtis, head greenkeeper in the Navan Golf Club. I was asking earlier, what did he make of the pitch? He said, excellent, terrific. Alan Brogan fed in there for Senan Connell, saved inside by Cormac Sullivan. Out to Paddy Reynolds. His dad, a former star, former selector as well in part of the 20-year spell that Sean Boylan's been in charge. That's a good, decent ball inside, but it just ran away there from Ray McGee.
Meath will want to make their mind up at this stage whether they're going to bring him on or leave him off, because Graham Geraghty is missing inside in the full forward line. They have nobody in there.
Well, they're still down to 14 players, and John Cullinan is still sitting down. I think they've decided it's time to bring in Anthony Moyles. Here's Dublin. Alan Brogan breaks out to Paddy Reynolds once again. Players calling for it. Nigel Crawford, the big, rangy player in midfield. Up it goes, nicely taken by Nigel Nestor. Ready to take on Paul Casey from Lucan Sarsfields. Nestor stealing inside, Casey pulling him down, free from just about 15 metres out. Referee going in just to have a little word or two. So Anthony Moyles finally gets into the action, but that's about 5 minutes after the injury to John Cullinan. They gave the injured player every possible chance. And once again, some need for treatment. Well, thankfully, Johnny McGee is able to continue in the action, playing at centre half-back. Part of a wonderful Kilmacud Croke side in recent years. Kicked in by Ray McGee, put over the bar. It's his first point coming from the free. So it ties it all up here very nicely indeed at Croke Park. Meath a point, Dublin a point. Over 10.5 minutes gone in the first half. There's Anthony Moyles, fresh man in. The man he's shadowing is Kieran Whelan. Moyles trying to break it down. Geraghty has gone back into full forward where he is most required. Foul at midfield. Johnny McGee to take this one. Collie Moran, who scored Dublin's point earlier on. Here he comes one more time, taking on Paddy Reynolds, going this way and that, lobbing it in there towards the man who's playing atop of the left but picked at full forward. That's Ray Cosgrove. Trevor Giles, hugely respected by his peers. Moyles, Graham Geraghty. That's a great ball to Nigel Leinster. Really turning up the heat here at this stage. Paul Casey going after him. And Dublin's defence does well enough. Barry Cahill just getting a touch on it. Graham Geraghty came in then and connected with him. And the referee has the notebook out.
Yes, and rightly so. He hit him when the ball was gone. He had to book him there, Joe.
First yellow card of the match goes to Graham Geraghty.
The Meath full back line are doing very well against the Dublin full forward line over there, and Collie Moran certainly has the beating of his man over on the far side if they're going to find him.
Yeah, that'll be expected of Collie Moran on the right hand side and Sinan Connell over on the left.
Yeah, Paddy Reynolds is finding it hard to stay with him.
Paddy Christie kicking this one down deep beyond Shane Ryan. Was there a push? There was. The player who was pushed was Mark O'Reilly from Summerhill in County Meath. Anthony Moyles. Darren Holman tried to dispossess him, doing just enough, but Meath managed to get it back one more time. Paul Shanky. That's Hank Traynor. Up towards Ray McGee, dragging his man wide of the goal area. That's Coleman Goggins, the Dublin captain. A useful kick which comes down off the post. Trevor Giles once again, looking for support inside. Nigel Leinster, back to Giles. Trying to measure it, should be the goalkeeper's. Tricky one nonetheless for Stephen Cloxton. And Dublin get away with it. It's Barry Cahill. Ray McGee is his man this afternoon, but there must be a little bit of pushing over there. And the referee has decided it's a free out to Dublin. Ray McGee just getting a little ticking for that last foul as Paddy Reynolds comes ahead, linking up with Evan Kelly. Had a great season last year, Evan Kelly. Had tended to be a peripheral player, but got his opportunities over the last 12 months. Too much taken out of that there by Donal Curtis. Too many steps taken for the allotted number.
There's a terrific battle going on between Jonathan McGee and Trevor Giles. It's very hard to deny Trevor Giles space because he makes the whole forward line tick with Meath.
Well, he's a central figure. It has been for quite a number of years now. And I think, as our studio panel were saying a little while ago, if Trevor Giles and Graham Geraghty really get going, they could cause all kinds of problems. Hank Traynor has just got a ticking by referee Pat Baccanini. This to be taken by John McNally. John, one of two Ballantyre St. John's players, the other being his team captain, playing for Dublin today. Should be Cormac Sullivan. It's not! Ray Cosgrove. 15 minutes gone. It should have been the goalkeepers. It wasn't. A little hesitation. And that was enough for Ray Cosgrove from Kilmacud to come in and make it 1-1 to a point. Something of a shattering blow to Meath and a real boost for Dublin. Well, I honestly thought Cormac Sullivan was going to come and collect that one. After it came in here, it looked a goalkeeper's ball, but it wasn't.
It should have been his ball. He should have shouted my ball, or gone out and hit it up with his fist. Fair play to Ray Cosgrove, never gave up, watched it all the way and made sure he finished it off.
Now listen to the Dubs fans. Sinan Connell here. Too many steps taken. Free kick to Meath. 45 metres out from their own goal. Nigel Crawford, and the referee has noticed a foul there by Johnny McGee. And Trevor Giles is up to take it quickly. The ref laying down the law. One of the best refs in the business. Again, it's Nigel Crawford. Terrible marking. Trevor Giles floating it in off the post for the second time, and Ray McGee has fisted it wide. Can you believe it? That's twice Meath have struck the upright. Early stages, however. Still under 17 minutes played.
He should have caught it, Ger. He at least had a point, if not a goal.
Reverse angle of the goal here as this was floated in. Keeper was coming, but not decisively enough. Cosgrove scores. Darren Holman. He was down in Parnell Park last Saturday night cheering on the Dublin hurlers. They hadn't a lot to cheer about at the end, however. But let's see what the footballers can do. Alan Brogan against Mark O'Reilly. Great dummy. That is a super point. Alan Brogan, shades of the dad. Terrific star in the 70s for Dublin. That will do his confidence no end of good, and he's made it 1-2 to a point.
That was a terrific score for Dublin. Really took on the defence, and this is what the goal has done to these young forwards. It has given them the confidence to do what they're good, and that's running at players, and a terrific score.
Well, as Tommy Lyons was saying to me yesterday, we're going to give it a real lash. They're doing that. Paddy Reynolds. Remember, Meath's run of success of late against Dublin. Dublin's last victory in this particular championship against the Royals was 1995, the year they won the All-Ireland. They're coming again off the post. Meath out of luck twice on that, with that particular misfortune, and now Dublin. And Darren Fay, who can be such a magnificent inspiration for Meath and has been over the years. Mark O'Reilly. Paddy Reynolds fed ahead. Anthony Moyles. They dish it off this time to Evan Kelly. Can he get more into the match? They need more from him.
He put Graham Geraghty a while ago. He should do the same this time.
Yeah, Tommy Lyons here pacing up and down here, and there is a Meath player down injured. And Kieran Whelan has got a yellow card, I think.
And rightly so too, Ger. The same thing as Graham Geraghty. A late tackle, he took his man out of the game when the ball was gone. Consistent refereeing.
So 2 yellow cards, 1 for each team. Player down injured is Mark O'Reilly. He was initiating that last attack. This is again what happened here. Watch Mark O'Reilly, watch Kieran Whelan coming in rather recklessly. Well, you just are not going to get away with that with a referee like Pat McEnany about, and 2 linesmen are keeping a very vigilant look at what is happening, and straight away they're in contact with the referee. Interesting development. Let's hope at one stage in the not too distant future we're able to see and hear what the referee has to say on TV, as happens in 1 or 2 other sports. That's Ray McGee firing it in. It's come back into play, but it's wide. It's wide. Wouldn't have counted. Donald Curtis is still at it. The umpire waved it wide. Referee hasn't noted it. That's staggering. That's
unbelievable, Ger. All the players in the full back line stopped because the umpire waved it wide, and still they played on. That could have been in the back of the net, could have been a disaster.
Wow, a lack of communication. Tommy Lyons. I don't know. Tommy, I'll tell you something. If it's the Abbey Act of Theatre you want to go into, I don't know. I'd give you 2 out of 10 for that. Pressure on the Meath backs once again. Kicked away by Darren Fay. Beyond Trevor Giles. Ray McGee trying to bring it into his hands. Does so successfully. Towards Graham Geraghty. Ready to take on Paddy Christie. And Christie gets out there. Takes the shoulder. And takes more than a shoulder. Dragged by Evan Kelly. The crowd getting really behind both teams here. Free to Dublin. And the ball is advanced 13 metres because of a little protest by Meath. So here's Darren Homan. Huge one down. Listed on by Ray Cosgrove. Going down and bending his back was Kieran Whelan. Has to be careful. Inside to Pater Andrews, ready to take on Nigel Nestor. Good ball outside here towards Paul Casey. Fired in well towards Shane Ryan. Steadying himself, ready to take on Hank Traynor. And he's put it wide. It was a wonderful chance for Shane Ryan.
But it was very loose marking by Hank Traynor. He was miles off his man.
Well, this is where the umpire waved it wide. Play continued. Referee didn't see the umpire. And as you say, Tony, it could have ended up being a goal, and a very controversial one of that. There's an injury in midfield there. It's once again Mark O'Reilly. Now, he was the player injured a little while ago, which resulted in the yellow card for Kieran Whelan. Let's just look at this one more time here. And that's where Tommy went down. No, Tommy, that's not really good enough. Not good enough. That's out by Cormac Murphy. Ball handled on the ground. It's going to be a free to Meath. This is picked up here by Cianan Connell. Shane Ryan back to Connell once again. Inside towards Ray Cosgrove. Fisted away, however. Good play by Paul Shanky. Here's Hank Traynor. Remember, he is picking up Shane Ryan. That loose kick has gone straight there to Paul Casey. Something we're going to have to get used to in a late start such as this on a Sunday evening. The shadows lengthening from the Hogan's stand side. Darren Fay in there on Ray Cosgrove. And that's going to be a free to Meath.
It's very, very hard to play through Darren Fay. You have to nearly play down the channel and play off him, because there's no way you're going to run past Darren Fay like that.
Here comes Evan Kelly. Pater Andrews chasing after him. Kelly kicking and Kelly scoring. Great play. That's his first point of the day, and it's 1-2 to 2 points. So just that goal between Ray Cosgrove between the teams as we watch once again. Wonderful movement and great execution by Evan Kelly. Cluxton kicking, missed by Moyles. Not so Paul Shanky. Towards Graham Geraghty, fisted away from him by Paddy Christie. Didn't make any attempt to catch it, didn't need to do so. The pressure back on the Dublin backs. Paul Shanky. That is a huge ball in, and it's missed by Graham Geraghty. A let off for Paddy Christie.
Paddy Christie's playing quite well in there, actually. I know Graham Geraghty, he didn't catch the ball, but at least he's stopping primary possession getting into his hands.
An exciting run through the centre once again here. Beautiful ball in. And a fine point by Collymore in his second. Great score by Collimoran, but gaps were left there by the Meath defenders, which must be very worrying for Sean Boylan and company. This is it once again here. Nicely getting it away there from Paddy Reynolds, and he drilled it over the bar. Should have been cut out.
Yes, he's been beating Paddy Reynolds to the ball quite a lot, actually.
Fisted down by Darren Holman. Paul Shanky coming forward. Here's Evan Kelly once again. Got that lovely point a little while ago. Great pace. Andrews is after him. They're all after him. Needs a bit of support now. Ray McGee unable to help. And Paddy Christie is nice and cool and calm. A measured pass out into the centre. And that is going to be a free to Dublin. The foul was on Kieran Whelan. Barry Cahill. Darren Holman making himself available. Good mobile midfield player. Picked off the ground. This is Nigel Crawford. Paddy Reynolds likes to attack, but his primary responsibility today is very firmly to keep tabs on the double attack. Right now it's the Meath attack, and right now it's Evan Kelly, and he judiciously fists it over the bar for his second point and delight the Royal fans. 1-3 to 3 points. This was it. Good movement involving Evan Kelly and one or two others. 2 shots at the target, 2 points for Kelly.
Yeah, and terrific teamwork by the whole Meath forward line. One aspect of Dublin's game that I'm very impressed with at the start of it is that they're all working very hard off the ball, chasing for each other and blocking people down. Meath have to work very, very hard for those scores.
Well, can Tommy Lyons do what he did with Offaly a few years back? And that, of course, is lift a Leinster title. Kelly taking the free kick. Broken down. Fed ahead by Ray McGee. It was intended there for Donald Curtis. Couldn't quite take it, however. Barry Cahill. Bad pass. High knock that time to the face of Graham Geraghty. And he kicks a beautiful point. He was fouled just before he hit that ball. It's his first point. Strongly built full forward. And there's a ticking for Darren Holman for that particular incident. Referee had noted it, gave the advantage. That was the foul. You saw it there.
That was a terrific score. It says a lot about his character. No feigning, no messing or anything like that. Had a look at the post and straight between the posts.
Well, as long as I've known Graham Geraghty, he never feigns injury. Just gets down to the business and does it so well. Darren Holman. Great kick by Darren Holman. Showed strength and resilience that time. Great determination. And the class of an inside forward to kick that point from some distance and put a goal between them again. Cormac Sullivan switching it to the left this time, but again Dublin win the kick out. Collimoran back down there. Once again, pressure on Alan Brogan. Score of a very good point earlier on here. Collimoran kicking, and Collimoran has put it over the bar for his third point. And Paddy Reynolds really has got to stick to his defensive duties, and he's got to close down Moran.
Yeah, terrific play by Moran. He had to look up and had the shot straight away. No hesitation whatsoever. He knew what he was at. But Paddy, he'll have to be closer. You have to be so close that you can touch your man in those situations. At least put him off.
Well, no switch in the marking alignment so far. This is kicked out towards the aforementioned Paddy Reynolds. Dublin win it back again. And this time there's a bit of jostling. A look of disbelief. But Alan Brogan has got to recognise that he was the guilty party, and McEnany is very much the man in charge. Richie Keeley could be coming on very, very shortly for Meath. Donald Curtis may be the one who is going to make way. That is the indication anyway. Here's Johnny McGee. Great ball. Nicely laid off. Brogan trying to sell dummies against Mark O'Reilly. Hank Traynor unable to get anywhere close to him, and it's another fine point for Alan Brogan. 2.5 so far. Nearly 31 minutes gone. It's going very nicely for Dublin as Donald Curtis is about to make way and be replaced by Richie Keeley. If anything, Donald Curtis over the years has suffered by virtue of his versatility. You could play him nearly anywhere, and he has played everywhere and anywhere.
Yes, but a beautiful score again by Alan Brogan. Not alone did he take the score, but it was the style he took it with. A real swagger about the way he plays when he runs at the full back line.
The Dublin management, I think, are very, very pleased with the way things have transpired in this first half. Is it to be their day? Will they make it to the final against Kildare? Moyles booting it ahead. Ray McGee here, just getting enough on it to get it back towards Nigel Nestor. Thought about an option, going for the score himself. And the fresh man in. Keeley has his shot blocked down. Great defensive work by Dublin. They're playing for one another. They're playing as a unit. They're defending brilliantly. And they get it out into the centre towards Darren Homan. The free-moving midfield player, straight at a very free-moving full-back for Meath, the excellent Darren Fay. It comes back here to Richie Keeley once again. Terrible ball by Richie. Collymore belting it downfield. Going across there was John McNally. Here's Alan Brogan, one of the newcomers to the championship this season. That is excellent. 3 shots taken by Alan Brogan, 3 scores made. So on the right-hand side of the Dublin attack, between Collymore and Alan Brogan, they've got 6 of those 7 points. There's a very definite weakness there, which Meath must be most concerned about. This was a lovely dummy, taking it around Cormac Murphy, onto the left boot, free as you like. Makes it look easy, doesn't he?
And it's not so easy when you're marking Mark O'Reilly. He's a tenacious marker. Not easy to sell a dummy like that, but he's leaving him for dead all the time.
Mark O'Reilly is on Alan Brogan, as you say. Cormac Murphy is now over on John McNally. Trevor Giles taking this free kick. Meath needing a score or two just to settle him down before half-time. Great defensive work. It was Barry Cahill who got the little vital touch on that. And Dublin could start again. Inside to Shane Ryan. Good ball downfield towards our goal scorer. That goal coming after 15 minutes of the first half. Hank Traynor getting it back. Mark O'Reilly firing it forward. Barry Cahill there, and also Richie Keeley of Meath. It's going to be a free kick to Meath. Trevor Giles preparing to take it. And there's an indication from the 4th official that there are going to be 4 minutes of added time. Ray McGee to kick this, 45 metres out, inside to Trevor Giles. They go short, patient, deliberate, but they fail to score. Hasn't been a particularly good first half for Sean Boylan and his men. Clinton Ginnity there, the county chairman.
Now, in fact, Hank Traynor has now gone back marking Alan Brogan at this stage. And very interesting to see when Dublin have the ball in the attack. Ray Cosgroves goes right out to the sideline and he brings Darren Fay with him, leaving 2 in front of the goal. It's very interesting, trying to take Darren Fay out of the play. And
Darren is not normally the player that you would expect to be dragged out from in front of his own goal area. More scoring chances coming up, perhaps. Nigel Crawford towards Ray McGee. Good ball inside. Moyles. Nigel Nestor coming in here. Is there a score here? He missed it very badly indeed. That was Meath's 14th scoring chance of the first half. They've just taken 4 against 11 for Dublin. They've taken 8. And this is Nestor coming in here. Just needed to balance himself, steady himself, and surely there was a point there.
Why are they missing Ollie Murphy in around the goal? If he got half a chance like that, all you see is the net bulging at the back of the net.
Nigel Crawford winning primary possession once again at midfield. Trevor Giles has gone down under the weight of that knock. Let's see if we can ascertain as to what happened here to Graham Geraghty. Well, let's be careful. Kieran Whelan has already had his name recorded.
Yeah, he wanted to be very careful, but it was innocuous enough to just a glove in the face, but he'd want to be careful. They can't afford to have him sent off.
So we're into the time added on for injuries, but another 2 minutes to play in this first half. Ray McGee steadying the Meath nerves. Their fans will be a bit happier. They've got their 5th point. It's a second point by Ray McGee. That goal has been critical, however. Cormac Sullivan has found his confidence once again, having conceded it to Ray Cosgrove. But Dublin look very businesslike. Cluxton. Broken down. Pater Andrews falls to the ground. This to be taken by Johnny McGee. Shane Ryan in there contesting with Mark O'Reilly, winning it well. Now can he pop it over the bar? Great block down by Nigel Crawford, but it squirms across the goal mat area. Comes back here to Shane Ryan once again. Just needs the latitude. They're working hard to get it in. Again another block down. It's Paddy Reynolds who gets it straight in the face this time. Out towards Senan Connell, and it goes wide. Collie Moran may be the one who got the final touch. On the ground is Ray Cosgrove. A couple of decent blocks down here. That was first of all Shane Ryan. Here's Cormac Murphy trying to get it away. Back towards Ryan it came again, and there was another block down as we saw.
I think this is the first game of the championship that I've seen so far with the intensity of a championship game, a real championship game, and where there's fierce hard tackling.
This was an injury just to Cosgrove moments ago, and there was Shane Ryan following up. You always expect something special when it's Dublin against Meath.
Yes, he's playing quite well. The whole full forward and for Dublin, their movement off the ball is excellent. They're dragging the Meath full back line all over the place, especially taking Darren Fay away from the middle and creating space inside.
Paul Shanky there waiting, and the amateur whistlers encouraging referee Pat McEnany, the man with the genuine whistle, to blow up for half-time. Dublin much the happier. They have done really well with Collie Moran getting 3 points, with Alan Brogan getting 3 points, both of them coming in on the right-hand side. And of course, there was a critical goal by Ray Cosgrove after 15 minutes of play. Perhaps it should have been cut out. Did I think it should? And Meath will be concerned about it. Goal scorer there on your left-hand side, the number 14. But they've been impressive up front. They've caused problems for the Meath defence. And it should be an absolutely intriguing next 35 minutes. So let's go down now to the sideline to Gary McDonagh. I think he may well have Dessie Farrell with him.
That's right, Ger. Thanks very much. Dessie Farrell, very good first half by Dublin.
Yes, I think it took a while for both teams to settle, but definitely after that we got the better of the exchanges.
Now, a lot of forwards have scored from play, but I'm sure you'll accept it. Meath will put it up to you in the second half.
Absolutely. I think you can see from the first half there they've squandered a couple of chances already, perhaps 1 or 2 goal chances in that. Well, undoubtedly Meath are going to come at us, and it's just see how we can take that on board.
Thanks a lot, Desi.
Thanks indeed to Gary and to Desi there. There's a wonderful scene, Croke Park here, Leinster semi-final day. Analysis coming up in the studio very shortly, but right now it is Dublin who lead by 1-7 to 5 points.
It'll be an interesting second half. Let's go back again to Ger. Sorry, Desi Brennan, that is. Did I say Kieran? That's Desi Brennan there in your shot.
Yes, indeed, that's Desi, former Laois star. Kieran Brennan, of course, was a wonderful, inspiring figure with Laois football. I remember back in the 80s, they won a marvellous National League here in Old Croke Park, as it were, playing, I think it was against Monaghan. And you may remember about 4 weeks later they went to Auckland and were duly dumped out of the Leinster Championship. Who's going to get dumped out of this particular Leinster Championship? A place against Kildare at stake. Dublin out. We wait the arrival of... But it has continued. It means that Mark O'Reilly is on Shane Ryan now. It's centre half back. Virtually a new position for him in Championship football. So it'll be Pat McEnany. Handled the first half very well. And away we go. Once more it's Kieran Whelan. Booted into space. This to be taken by Collie Moran. Dublin continuing to show wonderful resilience and energy. Ray Cosgrove. He's fouled. Jersey pulled. Free in. It'll be 13 metres out. Well, one has to be impressed with Dublin.
Yes, they're playing some very good football. Again, that's quite good play by Dublin. That's what they wanted at the start of the second half, is to settle themselves down and try and get a scoreable free. But the full forward line, they're young. They needed that goal to give them the confidence, and now they're playing with a bit of cheekiness. That is good for a full forward line.
Ray Cosgrove taking plenty of time. There's his angle. In front of an attendance of 65,898. He has booted it over the bar. And that's Dublin's first score from a free. 4 points in all now for Collie Moran. Rather, beg your pardon, I should have said Ray Cosgrove. So a goal and a point for Ray. He continues to play across on the left-hand side up front with John McNally playing on Darren Fay at full forward. Shane Ryan getting vital breaks there. Paul Casey. Not the best delivery. It's going to be Darren Fay then to kick this one in. Darren from Trim. Padder Andrews under some pressure. The bounce deceives him. It runs on there well towards Evan Kelly. And in the end, Trevor Giles kicking, and he has put it wide. Hasn't scored in the match so far, the Meath captain.
And really hasn't exerted any pressure in the last 15 minutes of that game. And as well at midfield, Meath are being wiped out at midfield, really. Dublin are dominating that whole area, and they have to steady it down there and try and get supply into Graham Geraghty, because he's going to start wandering out if he's not going to get ball.
And you start looking through the Meath substitution list and wonder where they're going to be able to produce a sub or two who really can come in and be hugely influential. A lot of young players. Here's Paddy Reynolds. Forward they come once again. Good ball back, but Paul Shanky has hit it hopelessly wide. It's a bad miss. First wide of the second half for Meath, and that is a total of 8 in all. The referee and the linesman saw that there was a touch, and it's gone for a 45. So 45 to Meath. Nigel Crawford leaving it there for Trevor Giles to kick. Well, Paul Shanky was coming through that time, but obviously the linesman referee saw some kind of a deflection. Jeering on the hill. Meath fans up there, just trying to put off Trevor Giles. And he was put off sufficiently. He's put it wide. No scores from 4 shots on the target so far in this game for Trevor Giles. Worrying times for the Meath management team.
Yes, and that was very good defending for Dublin when Meath were in a position to score. They all got behind the ball and they didn't foul, they just put him under pressure when he was kicking.
It's not going well for Meath, but at the same time you know from the quality of their play that they're going to enjoy a spell in this match of dominance. Will they be able to make that count at that stage? They can't afford to slip too far behind. That is a free to Dublin. Darren Holman ready to belt it in there. Plenty of movement in front of the Meath goal. Missed. Meath have a player down injured. Seems to be Cormac Murphy. The other Cormac Sullivan. Now Darren Fay. Cormac Murphy is back up onto his feet. Paddy is doing just enough, getting a fist to it. Dublin come again. Paddy Reynolds, again, incessant pressure on that particular side of the field. Collie Moran. Clever play. Jinking this way and that, and hitting an absolute beauty. 4 points for Collie Moran. He is roasting Paddy Reynolds at this stage, and it's 1-9 to 5 points. Well, just to take a little look at where everybody is playing at this stage in the Meath backline. Hank Traynor is now marking Alan Brogan, left corner back. Darren Fay is in his usual spot, and Cormac Murphy is at right corner back, and they're under pressure again. That's Hank Traynor going back. No danger on this occasion. Kick out to Meath. It's not too often when you look at a Meath team, Tony, that you see such a restructuring of their defence, which is all
yeah, and it just shows a weakness there, really. And Mark Riley is actually playing centre back now as well. And they're all under pressure. Dublin are exploiting the big space that's here in Croke Park, and they're playing direct ball in, which really suits young forwards. There's nowhere to hide here.
This is the maximum size pitch at this stage, largest that Croke Park has been. Pick up off the ground there. Meath want to take the free kick. Evan Kelly going back. That's his own 65-metre line. They need scores quickly. In towards Graham Geraghty. Dublin just content to knock it away anywhere. Johnny McGee getting it away. Touched on the ground once again. Evan Kelly, the player who was guilty, he was pushed around as well. Johnny McGee wants to take the free kick quickly, and for not getting the ball back fast enough, is a 13-metre penalty. Senan Connell. Again, good support play. This is a great run. And it's not going to count. Kieran Whelan breaking through from midfield. Here he is again, Kieran Whelan from Raheny, famous for its athletic club, and he's a very athletic player. Raheny Shamrocks. Free kick from the 20-metre line. So there's the angle. Ray Cosgrove now the scorer of a goal and 2 points. They're happy. Dublin's regular free taker has made it 110 to 5 points.
Paddy Reynolds and Paul Shanky have swapped again now. We have Paul Shanky on Collie Moran. They had to make the change at some stage because Collie Moran was roasting him.
And there's an injury here to Johnny McGee. Possibility that his brother may come in by way of a replacement. It's Darren McGee. He's able to continue. That's a great catch. Brilliant work there. Kieran Whelan taking the free kick himself. Impishly they build once again. John McNally setting it up. Back out here to Shane Ryan. Final kick is by Senan Connell, and that is wide. The cheers you heard were, I think, Meath cheers. That's 4 wides now. Sean Boylan just checking with his backroom team there. Not quite 10 minutes into the second half. But great cause for concern. They're a long way back.
Yes, and Kieran Whelan is still exerting his influence there at Meath, both winning primary possession from kickouts and going forward.
Paul Shanky there. Of course, he's the man who is now picking up Collie Moran. Nigel Crawford. How they're missing a player like John McDermott in midfield and a forward up front like Ollie Murphy. Trevor Giles is fouled. He hasn't scored so far. It's getting a bit frustrating. Sean Boylan, you can see him there. Well, Ollie Murphy might just be about to come in. New area in the ground this season for the substitute players as Ray McGee sets off. Meath needing a score. They've got a free in, 13 metres out. Kickable position.
Kieran Whelan will want to be very, very careful. He's following through when the ball has gone out of play, and he has been booked and ticked. One more incident and he's off the field.
Coleman Goggins there. Now the cheer you're hearing is because the Meath fans have spotted Ollie Moran. Ollie Murphy, I should say. And Ollie Murphy about to come in. They need him. 11 minutes into the second half. Wearing the number 13. Who will he replace? They've already had to replace John Cullinan early on and Donald Curtis. Trevor Giles kicking, and Trevor Giles curling it in beautifully. His first point of the match. It's the lift Meath has required, and it's 110 to 6 points. It's going to be Ray McGee who will make way. Ray, who scored 2 points from frees. They seem like they've changed their minds, and in fact it's Moyles who's going off. So your inside forward line is Ray McGee, and also in there Ollie Murphy. Graham Geraghty has gone out towards the middle of the field. It's a 2-man inside forward line. Nigel Crawford breaking it down towards Graham Geraghty. A real struggle.
They're hoping that Geraghty will just win the ball now and let the rake ball in, and he has this fitness to follow it up. Now, any other team, you write them off at this stage, but with Meath you can never write them off. They'll be in the game right till the very end.
Alan Brogan. He's left it behind to Paul Shanky. There's a fight in this Meath team yet, you know that. Darren Fay ready to take the free, but meanwhile the referee is speaking with Alan Brogan, and there's a yellow card. That's a total of 3 yellow cards so far. Kieran Whelan, Alan Brogan and Graham Geraghty of Meath. Dublin trying to bolster their defence there, and it's Graham Geraghty who gets it away from Johnny McGee. Geraghty in full flight, 20 metres out. Pass inside to Evan Kelly. Bad ball. Snapped up instead by Coleman Goggins. Ah, that was a scoring chance, surely. Should have been a point for Meath. They know it. Still, it's exciting, tough football. Ray McGee linking up inside here. Richie Keeley setting it up. Paddy Reynolds striking. Final fist was by Graham Geraghty didn't threaten the goalkeeper, and Dublin come again. Shane Ryan, urged on by the fans, ready to take on Mark O'Reilly. Still it's Shane Ryan, dished off nicely, broken. It's a bad miss, should have been a point.
Good tackle by Nigel Crawford there, just to put him off as he was kicking. But there's some great intensity about the game here now at this stage.
It's a terrific match. Down by the sideline, I noticed that Darren McGee is still being prepared to come in. So we could have two McGees in very shortly. Trevor Giles, meanwhile, down towards Ray McGee. Play back into space neatly to Evan Kelly. Needs a bit of support. Dublin blocking well. Nigel Leinster inside for Trevor Giles. Inside here for Evan Kelly. Oh dear. Wow. This was Trevor Giles in full flight. Meath expecting to get something, but they got absolutely nothing out of that attack.
Again, a terrific defensive tackle by Johnny McGee, just to get his body across him and put him off. But normally you'd expect Meath to finish those off in those circumstances. But that's brilliant defending by Johnny McGee.
Kieran Whelan, the player, is injured, getting the attention from both doctor and physio. And then being told back into the action fast. A couple of Meath attacks now in the last few minutes, which should have yielded scores, and this is Evan Kelly, but what about the little block on that? And if he did make contact, it should have been a 45. Well, he did his bit in putting him off in any case. Fisted down towards Nigel Leinster. Dublin seizing the initiative once again. Johnny McGee. And the referee, I think, saw a throw.
He was a little unlucky there, Ger. A little unlucky. He threw it up and he hit it with one hand because his hand was being caught. Very unlucky.
And the ball has been advanced a further 13 metres here, because Dublin did not get back into position fast enough. Will it be Nigel Crawford who'll hit it, the number 8? Plays for St. Peter's in Dunboyne. Going short towards Graham Geraghty. They need a score. Can he deliver? He can. It's his second point. Ever the man for the big occasion, and the occasions don't get much bigger than a Dublin Meath match here at Croke Park. 6 points the margin. Is that the beginning of the fight back for the Royal County? 16.5 minutes or so into the second half. Still lots of time, lots of pressure as well. Still Paul Caffrey, one of the selectors, and Tommy Lyons continuing to debate matters on the sideline. And this is the moment when Meath just might get their advantage and get right back into the match. Paddy Christie breaking it up. He's had a good game. Pader Andrews, he's played some splendid football in the last couple of years. This is wonderful football. Senan Flannel. That would be a great point, but he's put it wide. Everything about it, from the moment it was leaving the defence up to that final shot, looked exquisite. Connell still to score. Colin Coyle recognised there on the left-hand side, one of the Meath backroom team. What a great player he was during his years playing in the Meath colours. Richie Keeley setting it off again. Paul Shanky. Remiggy drops it down. Ollie Murphy, the buzz of expectation when he gets it. Graham Geraghty going through once more. Blocked down again. Great defensive work by Dublin. And it was McGee who was following up on it, and it has gone wide. Credit Dublin. They really are combining well. They're fighting for their lives.
Yeah, terrific defence again. Paddy Christie and Ollie Murphy is going to be a great battle, because what Meath are trying to do is trying to find Ollie Murphy in space. Paddy Christie is being brave. He's playing him from the front, and there certainly will be chances for Ollie Murphy in there. But collectively, the backline are doing very well.
That's about 3 chances in the last 6-7 minutes. And it's still 110 to 7 points. Dublin the leaders. Stephen Cluxton. Broken down here well. Nigel Nestor. Still in play, they decide. Great kick. That is a magnificent point. The midfield star here, Nigel Crawford, with his first point, urging his team back into the match, and there's a Dublin player injured on the far side. So it's going to be Darren Holman who comes off, and it'll be Darren McGee. So one Darren for another. These are the new situations for the substitute players. Peadar Andrews, the player with the injury. Very near the sideline, far side. So we're now about midway through this second half. Can Dublin hold on to their 5-point lead? And that's where the subs now have to sit. Touch of the old Lansdowne Road and the rugby about this. They get a good view at least. Fans all around the ground. 65, nearly 66,000 people getting behind the two teams. Nigel Nestor trying to get behind this. It's a great catch by Nestor. Wonderfully versatile player. Paddy Reynolds now operating at right half. That was Trevor Giles booting it away, but there's nobody there. Remember, Meath with 2 players in the inside forward line, Ray McGee and also Ollie Murphy. Congested in front of the Meath backs. Brogan walloping it, but very inaccurately. It was a good chance. Hank Traynor, very much the marker now on Alan Brogan. Lots of changes of position. Trevor Giles has gone very, very deep. Johnny McGee has followed him into the middle of the field. Must be about 20 players in there as we watch Richie Keeley. Trevor Giles now moving forward past Pat McAdini. Lovely balletic style there by Pat. 6 out of 6 for artistic merit. Shanky. Paddy Reynolds into Graham Geraghty. They need a score, and Geraghty swivels, turns, shoots, but shoots in wide. Score of 2 points in the game. Man from Centralstown.
Meath are creating the opportunities now that it didn't in the second part of the first half. Geraghty's getting on the ball in front of the goal, and he has options around him.
Dublin are about to bring in Desi Farrell. Pat on the back there from Tommy Lyons saying, in you go. There's 22 minutes gone in the second half. Further advice coming. Can he just give them a little bit of direction, hold the ball up, get 1 or 2 more vital scores? Kieran Whelan. Collie Moran. Unable to keep it in, injuring himself in the process. John McNally will be the one who will go off. Desi will come in, but maybe just for a moment they might just want to consider their options just to see how Collie Moran is. Could have twisted an ankle there. Trevor Giles booting it in. No time to delay at this stage. Pressure on Peadar Andrews. Comes back out here towards Barry Cahill. Steady and assured at corner back. One of the newcomers. And again they go forward. Alan Brogan. Great run. Showing he has absolutely no fears of the big occasion. Notice that Peadar Andrews is injured in the half-back line for Dublin, and I think he's indicating to the medical people that he may not be able to continue. He may have injured his shoulder.
Yeah, his shoulder or collarbone. As soon as it happened, he put his hand up straight away to try and get attention from one of the people on the sideline.
So just to keep tabs on this, Desi Farrell has not yet come in. they're also stripping off another one of their substitutes, and that it's David Henry. The kick here by McNally has gone well to the right. There was an indication that he was going to be the player who would be withdrawn. I can tell you, Collymore in the number 10 is back on his feet again. He's okay. David Henry is going to come in. Peadar Andrews is still on the field, but the first man in is Dessie Farrell. They're still preparing another player to come in. That's David Henry. Hasn't come in yet. Player who's come off here. Well, he hasn't come off just yet. John McNally has gone off, but they're holding up the number 7, and that is Peadar Andrews. He's now going up. Well, he's still on. Bizarre. They've taken... The board is still being held up. Collymore. Good ball outside. Fed inside. Dessie Farrell. It's gone wide. Let's just have a little look at this all over again here, as changes are being made by Dublin. Johnny McGee and Darren McGee was coming in on it.
That was a terrific save by Cormac Sullivan. Terrific save.
It's gone for a 45. Lots of movement on the sideline. So 45 metre free for Dublin. Ray Cosgrove to hit this one. He's got a goal and 2 points. His goal coming after 15 minutes of the first half. He's hit it well away to the right-hand side. Both sides now making errors. Crucial time in the game. About 10 minutes left. Peadar Andrews there, as you can see, in some pain, in some distress. So how will this pan out in the next few minutes? Dessie Farrell is the top of the right. He's been marked there by Cormac Murphy from St Patrick's in Meath. Meanwhile, Nigel Crawford with this free kick. Movement ahead of him. Trevor Giles just holding on to it. Nigel Nestor trying to round Kieran Whelan. It's hard, but they're getting it in somehow. Into Graham Geraghty. Held free. Ollie Murphy. So 110 to 9 points. Meath getting closer and closer. And coming on for Meath very, very shortly now will be Adrian Kenny. And going off, another substitute, Richie Keeley. Can Dublin hold out? Will Meath come back? That undoubtable spirit that they possess. Great talent as well. Graham Geraghty taking them all on. Confirmation of the changes. And the referee says, you took too much out of that, too many steps, free kick to Dublin. Graham protesting in vain. Nearly 28 minutes gone in this second half. Still a goal and a point between the teams as Coleman Goggin comes to kick this. Ooh. And the pressure will be right back on his defence. Meath have used 4 subs so far.
You're right, sir. His defence won't thank him for that. It was a simple one to catch, and he was in space. He would have been able to turn and pick out the inside forward.
Shane Ryan, the number 11, who missed that one. And away come Meath once more. Nigel Leinster and the other Nigel Crawford, kicking, and it's over the bar. (110 to 11 points). This was the dark-haired Nigel Leinster who came in here, had support, kicked beautifully, and now it's all or nothing. Trevor Giles winning it back again. All of a sudden, Meath are winning the vital edges, getting the vital breaks. Pressure back there once again on the Dublin defence. Coleman Goggins was pushed over, and it's going to be a free to Dublin. Just a goal between the teams. So Adrian Kenny in for the last few minutes for Richie Keeley. Shane Ryan needs to catch this one, does so. Secure in his business. Johnny McGee kicking it way down. Good forward play. Ray Cosgrove. It's still there. Cormac Sullivan coming, gathering, and is it in? Is it going to count? Meath are protesting. Shades of a certain Colm O'Rourke goal some years ago. Was he in the square? The referee has gone in for a look. The referee seems satisfied. The goal counts.
Yeah, I think it should count. From what I saw of it, it looked like as if it was a legitimate goal.
Ray Cosgrove with his second goal. A real fumble. So 5 minutes to go. Looking good for Dublin. 2-10 to 10 points. Is there any possible way back now for the Houdini men from Meath? Pressure remains on. Ray Cosgrove wants to take it. Tommy Lyons wants to bring in another substitute, and that's going to be Jason Sherlock. What a sub to be able to bring in. May come in for Alan Brogan. Meath need to win it here fast. Dublin just need another scoring chance, and that foul was committed just outside the large rectangle. It's a very kickable free, and a very scoreable one, more particularly. So Jason Sherlock about to come in. Desi Farrell's in already, as you can see, the number 21. Substitution hasn't been made just yet. Jason anxious to get into the action.
Yes, I suppose it's the right time to bring on people like Jason Sherlock. He'll get ball, hold it up, and he might get an odd point here and there. But Dublin weathered the storm from Meath there. Meath didn't really get the scores they were looking for, and with that goal in the end of the day, I think that'll see them through at this stage.
Yep, it looks good for Dublin, and now they've got this free. Ray Cosgrove will kick it over and make absolutely certain. 2 goals and 3 points now for Ray Cosgrove. The Hill absolutely delighted. He's had a very good match. Collie Moran, I think, is about to leave the game. Scorer of 4 points. He did really well. He got injured a little while ago. You remember he seemed to twist an ankle when he fell out over the sideline. Dublin make the change. Moran's off. And Jason is in. Johnny McGee rising. There'll be 3 extra minutes. Here comes Nigel Leinster, point scorer a little while ago. Played off inside here towards Graham Geraghty. Are Dublin destined for this year's Bank of Ireland Leinster final against Kildare? They had some great tussles in the 90s in particular. Ball about to be thrown up here, just about 25 metres out from the Dublin goal. Kieran Whelan against Nigel Crawford. Winning it back here is Shane Ryan. Following it himself. Might have been a foul there, I think there was. Free to Dublin. Shane Ryan was bending his back in the act of picking the ball up when the boot came flying in. Not allowed. Again, Dublin work it forward here. Too many steps taken, that's not going to count. Well, interesting, the scoring chances, not a great deal between them. Meath created 26 scoring chances, Dublin created 24. But as you can see, Meath have taken 10 of their chances against 13 for Dublin. Jason Sherlock darting through again. How he'd love to score against the old enemy from Meath. And that's going to be a 45. So the board held up now to tell the public here in the crowd of nearly 66,000 that there will be 3 extra minutes to be played. So about 3.5 minutes still remaining. And I think it has to be said, Dublin are really good value for what is surely a victory now.
Without doubt in the world, they played some lovely football, especially their inside forwards and their full back line with Paddy Christie playing very, very well in there. No matter who he was marking, they came out second best. But Meath overall for me today have been quite disappointing. They didn't play well today. I think they'll go in and think about what they're going to do and try and raise their game for the next round, but they were poor all day.
And that's the poorest kick that Ray Cosgrove has hit all day. But at this stage, it's just a case of running down the clock for Tommy Lyons and his very talented team. Whenever Dublin are in top form, when they bring these huge throngs of people to Croke Park, there's wonderful colour, wonderful excitement. And of course, Meath always play their part as well. Free kick. Nigel Crawford to kick this one in. Just going short inside there towards Ray McGee. A couple of players calling for it. One of them is Paul Shanky across on the left-hand side. McGee bypassing him. And Johnny McGee once again. He's played a great game at centre-half. Out to Graham Geraghty. And you see by his demeanour that he realises the game is lost at this stage. Kieran Whelan galloping forward. Loads of support. They always seem to have an extra man over. That was Darren McGee setting things up. Jason Sherlock going by Mark O'Reilly with ease. Sinan Connell. Just as well they have a decent sized lead because they've missed a couple of chances, and Sean Boylan appreciating at this stage in his 20th year as Meath manager, this is not to be their day.
Yes, but the difference between the team here and the team we saw against Kerry last year is they're creating those chances and they're taking quite a large percentage of them, whereas last year they weren't even creating those chances.
Oh, that's dropped down by Coleman Goggins. Paddy Christie back there. He's really made that full-back position his own, the Ballymon Kickham's player. Desi Farrell. This to get ahead here into space to Shane Ryan. Scampering off once again, going by Darren Fay. There's some terrible misses right at the end of this match. If it were a 1 or 2 point game, Dublin would be kicking themselves.
Well, the game is dead at this stage. A lot of the Meath players are just standing off. Graham Geraghty is just down underneath us with his hands on his hips. The game is over at this stage for them. But they should be finishing off teams. If they're 10 points a better team, why not put 10 points on the board?
That's a fair point. Plenty of encouragement. Everybody wants to get into the scoring act. Every pass that is successful cheered on by the fans. Mark O'Reilly trying to win it back in the company there of Paul Shanky. Dublin's first victory against Meath since they won the All-Ireland last, which was 1995. They've met in every championship since then, bar 1 year. And Meath victors on each occasion. But today, Dublin are relishing it. Johnny McGee boots it into the crowd. Absolute sheer delight. It's been a great day for Dublin. John Costello, the Chief Executive and County Secretaries, saluting this great achievement by Tommy Lyons. The fans have really enjoyed this display. There's self-belief back in Dublin. They've got a good panel. John Cosgrove got 2 of their goals. The 2 goals, first after 15 minutes, second after 30 minutes. Something of a scrambled effort. They all count, and that man is very happy. No need for the shirt. Everybody knows who he supports, and it's Ray Cosgrove and his team jumping for joy there with Kieran Whelan. None of the team that started today for Dublin ever were on a successful championship-winning team against Meath. They brought in the experienced players towards the end, and the experienced players held it together. Dublin had the luxury of kicking some late wides, but by then they had it well won. Let's go down to the sideline now. The Dublin manager is there in the company of Gary McDonagh.
Thanks to Tommy Lyons. A great day for yourself, a great day for Dublin football here in Croke Park.
Particularly great day for Dublin. Dublin needed this very badly. You know, it's going into the 7th year was just nearly too hard to take for Dublin people. It's a great day. We set out our stall, you know, against Wexford. I suppose you could say we listened to Joe Brawley and Pat Spillane, Paul, Dave, Paddy and myself, but this time we said we do it our own way, and you know, obviously it's a better way than their way. Yeah.
Your young players really came of age out there today.
Well, Dublin have good footballers. It's only a matter of getting them to believe, but we got the bounces today. You know, we got the bounces. You have to say, you know, Sean Boylan and me, they're a great team. I have great admiration for them. They're great ambassadors of the GA, and we just got the breaks today. We got 2 goals that really were not against the run of play, and that's win games.
The second goal was very important because Meath were coming back at you at the time.
Yeah, and we missed 2 or 3 scores. The young lads started maybe to get a bit tense, and you know, they are young lads. Young Alan Brogan, I mean, a lot of criticism about his Wexford performance, but he had exams and everything that day. I know Alan Brogan's a good footballer. Paul, David, myself and Paddy, we know these are good footballers, and you know, we're trying to build on what Tommy Carr did last year and the last 4 years and build on it. I'm sure Tom is as happy as we are today.
Tommy, thanks a million.
Well done to Tommy Lyons on the new Croke Park surface. They dominated, they were worthy of their win, and the goals were so important. This is the first one. Free kick taken in here, and watch coming in. Ray Cosgrove getting there ahead of goalkeeper Cormac Sullivan and finishing it to the back of the net. Should have been cleared. And then in the second half, this is what happened. Ball lobbed in here, and the entire attack was in after it, and it was Ray Cosgrove who got the vital touch. Cormac Sullivan beaten for the second time, should have gathered, didn't, and Dublin had their second goal, and they were absolutely vital scores. So there it is, it's Dublin versus Kildare in this year's Bank of Ireland Leinster football final. The fans have gone home happy because Dublin have won by 2-11 to 10 points.